What's going on, sickos? How we all doing today? Hopefully you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, if you're new around here, I'm GoreCore. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to hit another music reaction, and today we are going to return to the band Dimmu Borgir. We're going to check out their latest song and video entitled Ascent, and this comes off of their upcoming album, Grand Serpent Rising, which is due out on May 22nd. Now, if you're not familiar with these guys, they play symphonic black metal, and they're based out of Norway. They've been around for a very long time and probably influenced many bands that you listen to that have symphonic elements, whether they realize it or not. These guys are one of the earlier bands that did this sort of thing, and of course a lot of deathcore stuff and whatnot adopted those symphonic elements, and now we have a lot of blackened deathcore stuff that kind of comes from these roots. But yeah, this is one of those bands that I enjoy. I don't know their stuff through and through, as I'm not a huge black metal fan, but I've definitely heard material from them over the years, and I'm curious to see what they keep doing. The last track was good, and I'm definitely curious to see what this one's all about. But before we get into this reaction, I have a favor to ask of all of you. If by chance you're a fan of horror, I recently released my debut horror short film, The Treatment and the Cure. You can find a link in the description as well as right here. If you could take a few minutes out of your day to give that a watch, it would help support us to do more short films in the future. And if you do give it a watch, please leave a like, a comment, and just share it with your friends and help spread the word. That would help us out so much. We would definitely appreciate it. But let's get back into this reaction to what new Dimmu Borgir is all about. Definitely sounded very black metal. It all sounds great so far.
Divine, suffer nothing or suffer all. On the verge of comprehension, for the higher call, resurfacing without fear.
Melodic lead going on here. Nice.
Let the journey stretch us on. Space has no time. The integration endless. As the voice rambles on, here within this rhyme.
Look at that disco feel in that.
Viper's mine, careless
Ascent from the ocean. After darkness comes the dawn. Forging
Gotta have the dramatics in there. That was cool.
Initial pulse. Total annihilation of self. Disintegrate your death. Total annihilation of self. Disintegrate death.
And there we have it. That was Dimmu Borgir with Ascent. I have to say, I definitely enjoyed this. It definitely sounds like Dimmu. It definitely sounds like black metal. Everything flowed nicely here. It came with a lot of aggression. We got a lot of groove in there. There was moments in there that I didn't expect. Like I mentioned at one point, kind of sounded like a little bit of a disco beat, and that just kind of had like a fun groove to it. And I like some of those, I wouldn't call them a breakdown moment, but there's like almost like an interlude kind of section with talking, and then a lot of like symphonic elements taking place there, and that was very cool. It broke things up very nicely. To me, as far as I can tell, again, I haven't followed this band through and through, but based off what I do know of them, this sounds like pretty classic Dimmu, I think. So it all flowed nicely to me. Musicians are doing a fantastic job. I definitely enjoyed this. Again, I've said this many times, and I know I always say it, but I'm not really a huge black metal fan. So it's kind of hard for me to go, hey, I like this little element, this little element, this little element, because I don't really pick this sort of genre apart, you know, in that kind of detail. But it's one of those things that when it's on, I enjoy it. It's great. It's very well done. I just tend to gravitate more towards more slammy sort of stuff because I want that just heavy like headbanging sort of stuff. So again, this is just personal taste, so take my opinions with a grain of salt because that's all it is. It's just my personal opinion, my take on it. But I did think this was great. So good job by the band. As far as the video goes, you know, pretty simplistic for the most part. It's mostly just band footage, but I like the way it was displayed. We had some cool glitchy effects on there, kind of gave like an old like VHS kind of effect without like all the grain and stuff, but it was still like kind of glitchy, which, you know, is very simplistic, but it just gives a little bit extra to the video as opposed to just being, you know, these standard shots. So again, there's a little bit of grain and stuff in there with like glitches and stuff and just noise added to the image and stuff, and it works well for this kind of style. I think, you know, sometimes black metal works better when it's more simplistic because let's face it, black metal was always supposed to be like anti-music, so you know it doesn't need to be all flashy and stuff. But these guys are a little bit different anyways. They've always had like kind of a big presentation and been more on the symphonic side of things and never really been part of the, you know, the true black metal movement that was back in the day. You know, obviously these guys changed their sound a lot from what they started with. I remember listening to their album like For All Tid. My buddy bought that, and I mean that's a rough album. That's so much different than what they do now, but this sound is what they've been doing for many years, and this all falls in line with what they do, and I think it's great. So yeah, only praise to give here. If by chance this is your first time hearing the band and you enjoyed this, go check them out, see what you think. And of course, if you do enjoy the material, support them like any band that you enjoy. If you have a moment to help support this channel, then please subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Impale that like button, and if you'd like to get our future updates, stab the notification bell down below for that. Also, don't forget about those socials down below. You can follow me on all of the major platforms. Of course, the original link is down there, and I also play in some extreme bands as well. You'll find links for that down below, and if you take the time to listen to something, I would love to get some feedback from you. But first and foremost, again, if you're a horror fan, check out my short film. I would appreciate that so much. And I, of course, appreciate all of you taking the time to watch these videos. It means so much to me. Thank you. Appreciate that, and I hope everybody has an awesome day. Cheers, everybody. Stay sick.